to the Most High Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who were well. Shalom to the elect. Now I want to start off with Elder Malcolm as one of his favorite scriptures that he likes to go into because it's very pertinent to the time that we're in. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3. And in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. This is just a few clips that I've been taking around as I'm going around, the place where I'm staying. And what they do is between 7:45 and 9:15 when the school is open, and 12:15 and 3:45 when the school's closed, they actually close the roads, to allow for social distancing. So it just shows you what's going on, in Babylon. It's the same thing here. Sign telling you to wash your hands. Now, I'm laughing. I just found all of this funny because they've got signs up telling you to keep 2 meters apart, to wash your hands, and to wear your face mask. So he is really coming with his sorcery and his witchcraft. And if you see here, it says we will be delivering a test to you at home over the next 10 days. On the other side, they're saying they're testing for new variant, in the borough that I'm staying in, and they're telling you to book now or whatever. So yeah, this is pretty much the spirit that he's in. Even this is a sign of the windows being darkened, and the grinder ceasing, because this is a gym and it's meant to be open 24/7 7 days a week. Now it's been closed since forever the lockdown started. Open 24. It says it's open 24 hours 7 days a week. You can see that it's closed. There's no one in there, man. So this is just an example of the grinder ceasing and the windows being darkened. And this is more news, if you can call it that. I say propaganda and witchcraft. The Guardian: COVID, almost 2 million people warn England will be asked to shield. So, which is, they're basically saying almost 2 million people are gonna be in the so-called the at-risk group, or the most vulnerable group. They're adding 2 more people to that group. And we got a little word by Karen Susan, who will be added to this list: black people, people with diabetes. So that's how they look at black people, more or less sickly, according to these people, even though you're stealing black organs. And this person here: once I have the vaccine, I cannot mix with friends, even if they have the vaccine. I can't see my nan, I can't open my shop, I can't hug my parents. Keep the vaccine, you can have my one. So this is another example of showing how he is going to come down with great wrath because people are not believing him. And it's funny because she actually may be genuinely asking this because she's skeptical about it, but if you can see here, this clearly looks like a Jake. Thumbs up, so Jake is and Durham March always talks about Jake is more asleep than E. Jake wants to go along with it more than E does. See, E's asking questions. E don't even believe his own people anymore. But Jake still has, so much belief for this devil. And I see this thing. This is a post about Hecate, Queen of Witches. And it goes into pharmakia, which the elders like to get into, which is sorcery, witchcraft, and drug administration fostered by worshipping idols. And there you go. That's a Google search. I even got that Google search up here, and it just shows you an image of Hecate, which just shows you what the spirit that these people are in. This is Hecate, is a goddess of Greek mythology who is capable of both good and evil in the same way that E is, because E will, give you food or whatever, but really and truly his intentions are evil. She was especially associated with witchcraft, magic, the moon, and we all know E is representative of the moon, with the tribes of Israel being the sun, doorways and creatures of the night such as hellhounds and ghosts. So E has an affinity towards these goddesses, especially seeing when you really look at the psychology and the demeanor of E. He's basically a woman. He lies like a woman. He doesn't take responsibility like a woman. E is in the spirit. E is always in the spirit of a woman. And if you look into Pharmakia or Therapia, ancient Greek, was a town of ancient Thrace inhabited during Roman and Byzantine times, which just shows you these people always harken back to these other bygone eras and countries and kingdoms, or queendoms should I say. And if you look into the word pharmakia is very much like our word for drugs. That is, it can refer to many things. When I use the word drugs, I can be referring to Tylenol, which can be purchased over the counter, or to prescription drugs, which require the oversight of a physician. And the Lord always talks about a physician of no value, which is what this man basically is, because the Lord has given herb for healing, and this man likes to mix these herbs, subtract this, add this, and just mix it all up, even though you're not supposed to mix seed. Not to say it's wrong to mix things, but what he does is he creates imbalances when he mixes his stuff up. He takes away from and he adds to when he shouldn't do. At the end of the day, the Lord created everything in its place, and what this guy likes to do is he likes to put his own spin on it, which is really an abomination, and is really a form of witchcraft, with his potions and whatnot. And if you look into the definition here, the use or the administrating of drugs, poisoning, because he's going to poison you with his drugs, which is what his drugs really are, because when you look at the back, it says may cause death, so on and so forth. You may have bloating, you may have this, you see all of the adverse effects that it has on you. Sorcery, magical arts often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. The deception and seductions of idolatry. So you can see how all of this adds up to E's way of life. And if we go into Acts 8:9 here, it says, but there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out that himself was a great one. So this is the same thing happening all over again. Esau's painting himself as a great wizard, to whom they all gave heed, from the least to the greatest, saying, this man is a great power of Yahweh, and to him they had regard. See, all the people have regard for this man, especially Jake. See, Jake's simple ass thumbs in up. He's willing to do anything that Esau says, because of a long time he had bewitched them with sorceries. But when they believe Philip preaching the things, and Philip is in the same spirit as the apostles and the prophets, preaching the things concerning the kingdom of Yahweh and the name of Hamashiach, they were baptized, both men and women. So this is the elect being baptized, but everybody else is pretty much gonna go along, with whatever this man is saying, because the Lord is giving them over to their whoredoms. And this is Nahum 3:5. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, Babylon, and everything pertaining unto her, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it will come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee. So this is pretty much what's going to happen in Babylon, towards the coming end of this place, because this place is coming apart, man. Even one of the clips I showed the man and the woman, you know, people crossing the road. But sometimes when I'm walking, I see people talking to themselves, screaming. You know, you heard that screaming challenge. I don't even know if that's what it was, but I see a lot more people being bugged out, you know, than usual. People are just completely gone, man. This is First Timothy 4:2. Excuse me. Speaking lies and hypocrisy, having a conscience seared with a hot iron. And these people forbidden to marry and commanding thee to abstain from meat, you know, which Yahweh have created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. In the same way that, you know, we talk about herbs are for the healing, but they look at us like, you know, we're crazy. For every creature of Yahweh is good and nothing to be refused, and if it be received with thanksgiving, for it is sanctified by the word of Yahweh and prayer. But these people don't believe in prayer and, you know, the correct medication, you know. And I'm not saying I don't want to be, you know, blocked by the so-called WHO, you know, because when you say anything in opposition to them, they like to flag, you know, your videos, which has happened to me before, and I know it happens to a lot more brothers than me. So yeah, pretty much the scriptures speak on this stuff. This is Proverbs 17:4. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. See, you only gonna believe these people if you're in the same spirit as them, you know. It says, can two walk together unless agreed? I know I'm probably butchering that scripture and I'm paraphrasing, but, you know, at the end of the day, you're only gonna believe Esau if you're in the spirit of a liar yourself. Now, a lot of people don't class themselves as liars, but they lie to themselves. You know, a lot of people think they're good when really and truly you're not good. You know, as it says, no one doeth good. And if you're not following these scriptures, you know, if you're not following these commandments to the best of your ability, you're really not good. And a lot of people aren't doing that. So, you know, you see your little neighbor and he says hello to you, and everybody talks about how we're so friendly. He's not good because he's not following these scriptures. You know, he's cooking on the Sabbath, he's having sex on the Sabbath, he's working on the Sabbath. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, no one's perfect, but, you know, we try. It says a righteous man will fall several times, which shows that, you know, you're never really going to get right. It just shows your willingness to get up every single time you fall and to put your best foot forward. Whereas these people, you know, they don't even consider these things. They just listen to E and consider his ways and think being good is what he considers to be good, even though everything that he does is an abomination. And even when he does good, you know, it's really to trick you to do something bad to you. It's really to lull you into a false sense of security so that he can commit an act of violence against you. You know, he'll give you all this so-called furlough money and give you all these benefits because he actually put you out of work and then he gives you, you know, you're earning $3,000 a month and he comes in, he gives you $1,000 and you think he's nice, but really and truly he's the one that put you in that position, and he's doing that to put you in a false sense of security so that when he comes down with whatever he's coming with, you know, you believe him, because he's literally made himself out to be the only savior and the only chance that you have of returning to a quote-unquote normal life, even though that's never going to happen. So this man is just evil incarnate through and through. Deuteronomy 18:11, or a charmer or consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard or a necromancer, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. So he has pretty much had he's run his course, and the Lord's going to drive him out from out of the land in the same way that he drove all those people out of their land, you know, when Israel came out of Egypt. These people are getting ready to be run out of town, you know, get out of Dodge, so to speak, because this place is finished. This place is done. You can just walk around and see that this place is done. I'll be walking on the road, I've been seeing foxes, and they're not even scared of me no more. Before, I'll be walking, I see foxes, they'll run and hide. Now it's like they're curious, because even they realize that something's going on, and they realize there's not a lot of people on the road, and they only really come out when there's not a lot of people out. And because everything's so dead out there, you know, they pretty much have the run of the streets. I'm going to finish off with Leviticus 26. And the soul that turneth after such have familiar spirits, and after wizards to go a whoring after them. I will even set my face against that soul, and I will cut him off from among his people. This is 2/3 of Jake. All praises to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect.